in Matthew 20, I believe it's 22, when the Pharisees were asking Jesus about what is the greatest commandment, and he said, well, you know what the law says, and he said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. I was actually reading in Deuteronomy, and it's in chapter 6, verse 2. The whole chapter is titled The Greatest Commandment, and in verse 2 it says that you may fear the Lord your God and your son and your son's sons, and keep all his statutes and his commandments. My question is, are those two similar? Do those basically work together, or are they completely different?
Oh, Andrew, you're so much fun. He first quotes Matthew 22. Andrew asked about 22, 37 to 39. And what Jesus does is, Jesus summarizes both sides of the Ten Commandments. Commandments 1 through 4 have to do with God. Commandments 5 through 10 have to do with our relationship with people. And what he says, you fulfill all of 1 through 4 with love. If you love God, you will not make any images, take his name in vain. You will not be at all breaking, his intimacy, the fourth commandment that he wants on his day. So you're obeying God by loving him in the first half of the Ten Commandments. The second half, 5 through 10, if you love your neighbor, you will honor your father and mother. You will not kill. If you love someone, you certainly wouldn't kill them. You wouldn't commit adultery. You wouldn't steal. Right down the line. You wouldn't bear false witness or covet what they have if you really love them. You wouldn't lie to them, steal from them, commit sexual sin or anything else. So what he's saying is, if you love the Lord your God, that's the first commandment. Actually, that's the first side of the Ten Commandments, because half were to God and more than half were to us. The second half, he says in verse 39, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself. And if you love your neighbor as yourself, that's how you act. Now, back here in Deuteronomy 6, it's basically the restatement of Exodus. Remember, that's why it's called Deuteronomos. Deutero means two, and nomos means law. So Deuteronomy is the repetition of the law, the second giving of the law. Exodus 20 is the first giving, and all Deuteronomy 6 is saying is, it's reaffirming what it says in Exodus 20.